All right. All right. We are recording. Welcome everybody. It is so good to have you here tonight. We are the YL Unstoppables, and we are five women. Unfortunately, there's only four of us here tonight, but that's okay. All five of us are here in spirit, and that's what we do. We're five women who have all joined together, meeting with Meeting Through Basics, which is a personal development course led by our fearless Melissa Pepping. And we all met there, and our passions for mindset have led us to form wonderful friendships and this group that we just want to educate. So that's who we are. I am Sherry Hester. I currently live in Savannah, Georgia. I have four adult children and four dogs. And I've been with Young Living for 12 years now. So I am super, super excited to be here with you guys tonight and excited to share this really great topic with you. We all love the raindrop. Who here, like just a show of hands, how many of you guys have actually had a raindrop before? Anybody? Okay, a few of us have. Great. Anybody here do the raindrop on someone else before? Okay. And if you don't know what the heck we're talking about, you will. You will before you leave tonight. So we're going to dive in. All right. First, I just wanted to start us off. This class, a lot of this content comes from Sarah Harnish. She is a Young Living Royal Crown. No, is she a Royal Crown, guys? She's a diamond, right? Anyway, she wrote a book, and she has helped us learn all about this raindrop, and that's what we're sharing with you tonight. And I did want to show you, because she references this book. This is a beautiful book if you guys do not already have it. This is a lovely book, The Healing Oils of the Bible. I don't know if you can see it all, but it's a lovely book, and talking about all of our oils and the chemistry of it and the electricity of it and the power of our oils and how they came to be. And it's just beautiful. So she references and uses this a lot, as well of course, Gary Young. But I love what this says in here. And I'm going to just read it to you because I think it's a beautiful way to start our class tonight. So the purpose of this class is to educate and inspire you to realize the infinite care and detail to which our Creator has gone to provide for us the medicines we need to heal and maintain our health. It is not for us to create these healing substances. God has already done that. It's for us to tune in with God's wisdom and God's will and to educate ourselves as to how to restore our wellness and maintain our health by the use of God's natural creations. And among these divine gifts are the oils of plants. God made them and gave us the intelligence to discover and learn how to use them. And we are going to be talking about one miraculous way to use these oils tonight. So, Gary did many variations of this raindrop technique, and we're going to explain to you what it is. But for tonight, he did it all over the world, and a lot of times when he would do them, they were tailor made to the person that he was doing it on, which is part of the beauty of this. But tonight, we're just going to lay out for you the version that Gary actually wanted to be remembered and duplicated. So that's where we're coming from. All right, so raindrop is actually one of the most valuable techniques an oiler or oily person could know. It's actually a modern anointing. So we know that in the past, a lot of anointings have taken place, and they still do. You don't need to be a massage therapist or an aromatherapist to use this or to do this. You just need to break out your bottles and do your best. The oils know what to do. So I just want to reiterate that, because some of this tonight, there is a technique. It's called the raindrop technique. So there are some technical things about it, and I feel they are very important, and Gary created them for a purpose and a reason. That being said, the most important thing that you can do is get these oils on your body and use them. And if it's messy and it's sloppy and it's not quite right, it's okay, because our oils are super intuitive and they know what to do. All right. So what is a raindrop? Okay, a raindrop is a powerful, non-invasive technique that uses 9 of our essential oils layered along the spinal column. And then we also do it along the foot, our feet. All right. Using a very light massage technique, there's no hard pressure or force. So I almost, when I'm explaining it, it's really not massage, because you think of massage as going deep into the tissues and the muscles, and that's not what this is. It's very light. One of the techniques is actually called feathering, which we're going to get into later. So that's kind of what it is. It's very light. The most important part of this technique is the dropping of the oils, and it's the raindrop and using the oils. Okay, because they are strategically dropped over the nerve pathways that run up and down our spine and end at our feet. The body acts kind of like a highway for essential oil delivery, right? The oils are applied using 8 different techniques. So we've got 9 oils using 8 different techniques, which we'll talk about later. A carrier oil, after they're all done, then a carrier oil is laid down to seal them all in. A warm hot towel, this is my favorite part. A warm hot towel is laid on the back for several minutes. And what that does, if you know anything about heat, we use this, it kind of like drives it in deeper. So it's a beautiful way. You just lay there with that hot towel on it, and it makes everything go deeper in. It's a very intense aromatherapy experience. When you hear some of the oils that are used in this technique, you will be able to imagine what it would smell like. I got to tell you, I always feel like I'm a pizza parlor when I leave the room. It's like there's a lot of oregano and thyme and everything, and it smells divine. It's very strong. So not only are you getting the benefit of the raindrop and the dropping down the spine, but the actual aromatherapy from these therapeutic aromas is amazing. So it actually, the raindrop targets the body on a cellular level, and this is brilliant. It's from a cellular level, from the outside. So by shooting the oils up the nerves, it uses the energy of your own body. Okay, so here's a little bit of background on it. So it was developed by D. Gary Young, who is also the founder of Young Living Essential Oils, and it was developed in 1989. So this was before Young Living was really around. Gary had learned and had heard of this centuries-old Native American ritual, which was in the Lakota tribe in South Dakota. And then from that, he also paired it with what he had learned about essential oils. One of the tribe elders, Wallace Black Elk, explained this technique to him. So then Gary mixed it with the VitaFlex technique, which will be explained later by Tammy. And it was also, so this is kind of interesting. I find this interesting. The VitaFlex technique was actually made popular by Stanley Burroughs in the 1920s. Think about that. That was a long time ago. Okay. Stanley Burroughs means a lot to me because he is also the one who invented the Master Cleanse. And that's for another, we talked about that last week. And, that's another thing. But I love, he was a big, big deal. Okay, so according to the Lakota custom, their ancestors would travel north across the Canadian border to experience the wonders of the Northern Lights. They would breathe in the light and hold their hands up to the sky to absorb the electromagnetic energy of the colors and the electrical fields of the sky. It's pretty cool. They believed that this energy healed them. Once the border between Canada and America was created in 1783, the Lakota Indians could no longer make this journey. So instead, they developed a technique using an eagle feather to simulate the northern lights for their mind, body, and spirit. So in the raindrop technique, the oils are dispersed onto the spine using feathering techniques that mimic the Lakota tradition to work the oils into the spinal muscles. Okay, so I just said some terms that some of you may have not be familiar with, or some may be like curious, and someone may be freaking out and thinking I'm really weird. All of that electromagnetic energy and all of those frequencies, we don't talk a lot about that, but this is so legit, you guys. It's so super legit, and I'm going to tell you why. First of all, God made the brain to work on electrical currents. God also created neurons in your body that pass signals and give organ information as it functions throughout the day. So these messages get passed up and down the spine at a rate of 180 miles an hour, according to the Winston Medical Center. The human body sends 11 million bits per second to the brain for processing, though the conscious mind seems only to be able to process 50 bits per second. Our body's electrical energy and its messaging system are things that have been repeatedly measured by scientists. You can find this anywhere. This is science, okay? Their existence is irrefutable. That means there's no need to fear the frequency of the human body, right? It's just energy, frequency and energy. Everything has energy. This has energy. The oil, everything has energy, right? We can see our voices as a sound wave on software, right? That's energy, where you can actually see the frequency. Energy has been in motion since the beginning of time. And you really have to understand and buy into this idea of the frequency of energy to understand the whole science behind the raindrop. That's why I just spent all that time on that. I know it sounds a little sciencey, but this is the basis of why the raindrop works. The spine is a superhighway where all the nerves emerge, and absorption of the essential oils enhance the electrical flow along the neural pathways. So oils have access to all parts of the body this way, all parts of the body, including organs, glands, tissue, muscles, and major body systems. Nothing before has ever existed like this technique. It was brilliant. Gary Young paired God's essential oils and the body's natural electrical current and ancient techniques like the Lakota Indian feathering and the Tibetan Vitaflex, along with scientific knowledge of basic anatomy, to create a brand new system of getting oils into the cells of our bodies. Despite this being genius, it's really a relatively simple technique to learn. And we're going to talk about that. And it can be done with a little practice in your own home or through a massage therapist. A session typically lasts about 60 to 90 minutes, but you can really do a mini one in about 3 minutes. So now I'm going to pass it off to Susie, who's going to share a little bit more about how this raindrop works in our bodies. Take it away, Susie.
That was just so beautiful. I just wanted you to keep talking because I'm like, what? So
it's just so fascinating, right?
It really is. Like when you start piecing together how our bodies work and how these oils interact with that, it's pretty amazing. So I'm going to talk to you guys about how it works, right? How does what Sherry say equate to this raindrop, and how does all of this stuff work in our body? Well, she touched on it, right? It's the reason number one is the electrical frequency that our bodies normally have. So our frequency, the reason, okay, hold on a second. The oils raise the body's frequency when applied to the skin topically. It does that by being shot up the nerve pathways, using the techniques that Sherry was talking about just a little bit ago. But it actually makes and breaks currents between the person that's getting the raindrop, which is the receiver, and the person that's giving the raindrop, which is the facilitator. Okay, so slight pressure applied to the body creates an electrical charge that is therapeutic to the body. It's known as the piezoelectric energy, and it accumulates and travels in biological matter like bone, DNA, and proteins. So the great inventor Nikola Tesla famously said that if you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. Crazy. Everything has a vibrational frequency, including you and me, your table, your neighbor's cats, non-biological material like quartz, and essential oils. At the smallest level of our reality, we are made of molecules, not just molecules, but molecules in motion that vibrate with life. The average frequency of the human body is between 60 and 78 megahertz. Oils, plants, and people contain frequencies outside the range heard by the human ear. Essential oils have very high frequencies from 52 megahertz to 320 megahertz. Some have claimed oils have the highest frequency of any substance on Earth. Rose oil is at the highest, around 320 megahertz. However, there is research to indicate that Idaho blue spruce can reach up to 580 megahertz, which blows the lid off of rose essential oil. So not only can frequency be measured, it can also be changed. Skeptics say that raising your frequency sounds like hippie voodoo, but scientists have measured what happens when you calculate the body of the frequency, place an essential oil on the skin with a higher frequency, and then remeasure the body again. The frequency increases. A tiny molecule of the oil that is smaller than a virus has the impact to increase the frequency of an entire human body, which is nuts. So the reason number 2 why the raindrop works really, really well is the chemistry of the oils. So we're not going to go into a whole lot of detail on essential oil chemistry because we'll be here forever. And quite frankly, I don't want to have to explain all of that. That's not what I do my best at. It's vast, it's complex. There's a lot of research out there on it. It's a subject that Gary Young was really good at, though. His knowledge of aroma chemistry is what allowed him to create incredible blends like Valor and Stress Away. So by understanding how molecules accent each other in a compound, you can create the most incredible blends. So I will tell you this, that the whole chemistry has to do with the constituents of the oils. It's not just about what's going on electrically, but what's going on chemically. There are tiny molecules in oils that enact change in the human body. They calm you down. They wake you up. They offer a whole host of other things written in many guides, printed everywhere. You can go read those. Stories of oils are everywhere on the interwebs. You can go check those out yourself. But each drop of oil has hundreds of constituents. The constituents in oils go by certain names that you may have heard, like D-limonene, thymol, carvacrol, etc. When you distill them properly, you maintain the integrity of what God designed in the plant. It's the part of the plant that uses it's the part of the plant that it uses to heal itself. Distilling the right way is critical. For example, when Young Living distills cypress oil, it has 288 naturally occurring constituents in its chemical makeup. If you were to distill that oil at a temperature 10 degrees higher or lower, it would only have 11 constituents. The rest would be destroyed. How you get the oil out of the plant is so super important. Young Living does it the right way because of the seed to seal premium standard that our oils have. So Raindrop has got to be done with Young Living essential oils, period. There's no other oils that we can recommend to do the Raindrop. The body's electric, okay, so why is it called the Raindrop, right? Okay, so the Raindrop gets its name from the way that it's applied. When you're working on the spine, they are dropped directly from the bottle, which is held about 6 inches from the skin, simulating the effect of drops of rain falling gently onto your back. It's very relaxing and comforting. The body's electromagnetic field extends about 3 inches above the body. When you drop an oil just above the height, they can interact with the body's electrical field on the way down, enhancing the electromagnetic properties of the oils as they penetrate the skin. The oils are applied neat, which is undiluted, though you will have Ortho Ease massage oil beside you in case you get any redness or any irritability on the skin. So here are the following oils that are used, and it's in this order: Valor, oregano, thyme, basil, your Italian kitchen, wintergreen, marjoram, cypress, peppermint, aroma seeds, and then Ortho Ease massage oil. And what do we use the Raindrop for? Why would we go through all of this to grab all these oils and put them on in a particular way? There's a reason. You don't have to be a licensed massage therapist. In fact, I think I read one article, I grabbed the oils and I did it on my husband for good reasons. So you don't have to be certified. You don't have to be a chiropractor. You don't have to be an aromatherapist. You don't have to do any of those things. The oils work by supporting the body to come back to its normal harmony by opening up the flow of energy. Simply, here's a quick generic checklist of some of the purposes that we've seen the Raindrop used for. Immune support, aiding the body's natural response to inflammation and injury, easing discomfort after exercise, emotional release, supporting the respiratory, nervous, and circulatory systems. It can be used as a gentle detox by cleaning the doorway to the cells with phenols. That's one of those chemical constituents. And then soothing muscles, bones, and joints. Okay, so because Raindrop encourages the body to detox on its own, you may experience some after effects, right? Those can be headaches, sinus drainage, crying, sneezing, or emotional release. Your body is going through a shift. You may feel more tired because your body's purging. It's hard at work, so it's going to be fatigued. It's very important to drink enough water. That's the thing. After you're done with the Raindrop, before you start the Raindrop, get hydrated, get the recipient hydrated, and allow time for rest afterwards. You need to be drinking half your body weight in ounces for at least 3 to 4 days following a Raindrop session, so the toxins you released don't get reabsorbed. It's very important to flush your system out. So the science of the Raindrop, what do the oils do? There's a reason that you layer them in the order that you do. It's based on the constituents and the part of the body that the oils work best. So basically, you're going to start from the outside of the body and work your way in. Movement goes from the electrical field to the skin, to the voluntary and involuntary muscles, then to the motor muscles, then to the joints and skeleton, to the involuntary muscles like the heart, diaphragm, digestive tract, and reproductive organs, to the nerves, to the circulatory system, and then finally to the lymphatic system, which pushes everything out. Many of the constituents mentioned in the descriptions of each of the oils have varying properties that are beneficial to your cells and your systems. You will come across terms such as phenols, sesquiterpenes, and monoterpenes. which are the constituents. Phenols are responsible for cleaning the surface of the cells. Phenols are responsible for cleaning the surface of the cells. Sesquiterpenes erase the information or the lies that the cells have told over the years. That would be like the medications that cover up cold symptoms, the bad food, the weird air, emotions. And then the monoterpenes restore the prints of every cell that's been tainted back to its original state in which it was created. Let's go ahead and listen to how we're going to explore how these constituents and components act the way that they do by taking a closer look at what's inside those oils. So Lenee's going to take over and she's going to talk to us about the constituents that are inside these oils.
Hey, hello. So I've received a few raindrops and wow. But like I was telling the girls before you all came on, I have never given one, and I've been with Young Living for 7.5 years. So this class is encouraging for me because, okay, my kids are going to get them, my husband's going to get one, and I would like to start making it a practice to do it like once a month, especially as we start going into this season, that we're entering the fall and winter season. So that's one of my goals with having done this class. So with that, let's talk about the oils, each of them specifically, and why they are so amazing and why they are going in the order that they are in. So first oil, Valor. Such an amazing oil. It contains camphor wood, black spruce, blue tansy, frankincense, and geranium. And basically the goal of this oil is to help balance the body's electricity and stimulate the spine. So it affects the limbic system in a way that improves your self-image. And that's why it's called the oil of courage, the oil of confidence and self-esteem. It contains esters, monoterpenes, and sesquiterpenes. Don't get hung up on the constituents themselves. Just get hung up on why they're so amazing. Next is oregano. So, I mean, the goal of Valor is just to kind of get your body in balance before you do the rest of the oils in their order, okay? So the facilitator and the receiver both need to be in balance, and you both are basically getting the effect of the oils. So next is oregano. It's high in the phenylpropanoids. And these constituents are used to, like Susie mentioned before, they actually clean the doorway to the cells. So if your cells are really dirty, it really depends on like your diet, your stress level, all the toxins that you might be around. So oregano, after you balance the body, oregano comes in and you clean the doorway to the cell. So it's kind of like sending in your front line to the battlefield. It's prepping the way for the other oils to be able to do their work. So it improves communication, something I think everybody in this world could do, right, is improve communication. And oregano is one of the top immune support oils out there. Such a powerful one. Third is thyme, and it works much in the same way as oregano. It's also a huge oil for immune support. It's also known for its high phenolic content, and it supports the body's natural defenses. So we can call oregano and thyme the duo. First you balance the energy with Valor, then you go in and do some cleaning to be prepared for the last 6 oils. And there are like a whole bunch of different chemotypes and over 300 varieties of thyme. Young Living's thyme is Thymus vulgaris CT thymol, which contains 60 to 70% thymol. So it's harvested in the fall, and it has 2 common names, thyme and red thyme. It's recorded in the Ebers Papyrus, one of the oldest Egyptian medical texts on record. and it dates back to 1550 BC. I was like, oh my word, when I read that, I was amazed. That goes back a long way, right? It is a hot oil, so, but it kind of purges and stimulates. So it kind of helps get rid of and helps stimulate the body. It clears the space so that things can move. Next is basil. So we are now entering into what are called the three sisters: basil, wintergreen, and marjoram. And these oils are still high in phenols, but also quite high in monoterpenes. And if you research the science on these constituents, there'll be a quiz later, just kidding. They have a knack for kicking things out of the cell that should not be there, okay? And then they reset the cell back to the way it was created. So kind of like hitting that factory reset button is what those three oils do. Since the doorway is wide open because of the cleansing done by oregano and thyme, it's good to use the three sisters after the duo. Basil is relaxing to the voluntary and involuntary muscles, so like the arms, the legs, the back, the abdomen, the neck, and face. So first we work on the energy field, the emotions, and grounding with valor. Then we clean the cells with oregano and thyme, and then we can move into the muscles just under the skin. And this oil, it can also sharpen your sense of smell. So if you've had what's been going around and your smell has been affected, maybe this is something that you can try to help bring that back. I'm not a doctor, so I can't say it will. I'm not saying that, but if you want to support your body, maybe this is a good thing to use. I'll let you be the judge of that. It's good for fatigued muscles and mental stress. Basil comes from the Greek word basilium, meaning king. So basil is contained in Hildegard's book, Physica. Hildegard van Bingen was known as the first herbalist and naturopath of the Middle Ages. So next is wintergreen, and this is also good for muscles. It supports the joints and the skeletal structure. When you're raindropping wintergreen after basil, you're moving from the muscles to a deeper level of the bones, okay? It contains 95 to 99% methyl salicylate. And birch and wintergreen are the only plants in the world that naturally contain it. So this oil gets a bad rap for reactions, but I believe it's underused. So most of the problems associated with using essential oils are that people are using food grade or natural oils that are adulterated and not intended for therapeutic use. Okay, so the Native Americans actually chewed wintergreen when running long distances to increase their endurance and respiratory capacity. Maybe that would help me run better. I don't know. This plant is known for being cooling and soothing, and for increasing alertness, something that I could use for sure. The third of the trio is marjoram, and it is relaxing to the involuntary muscles. So those muscles are like the heart, the diaphragm, the digestive tract, and reproductive organs. It's soothing to the nerves and for occasional nervous tension. So now you're working deeper than the muscle layer into the organs of the body and the nervous system itself, sending messages up and down the spine. Marjoram is about half monoterpenes, which are stated to have antioxidant and antimicrobial properties, and marjoram has been called the joy of the mountains. The Romans called it the herb of happiness. It's also nicknamed the plant of love and longevity. The scent is spicy and woodsy, and the ancient Greeks used this herb to transition through physical death by releasing negative feelings. Always learning something. Cypress is next, and it serves a completely different purpose than the previous oils. So once you've balanced the energy, cleaned the cell doors, improved communication, and work your way deeper into the body by kicking things out that shouldn't be there. The body needs a leg up with circulation, okay? Cypress is a major circulation oil. The cypress trees grow near water and are good at pushing things out. Cypress also works closely with the lymph nodes, and for the same reason, all that muck floating around the lymphatic system can now make an exit. When we get to the technique section, we'll mention possibly the cypress thunder shower. So you may want to be generous with this oil, like rain in a thunderstorm, because it's good at getting things moving. Cypress is 14% sesquiterpenes, which kick the yuck from the cells after they've been cleaned out, and 76% monoterpenes, which restore the cells to the factory settings the way it was created. So this is the way God intended the cells to work. Cypress is spiritually grounding and helps us accept change and feel more secure with ourselves. It helps eliminate what was stagnant. I'm like thinking I need this oil just right now. Oh my goodness. It helps eliminate what was stagnant, like I said, and it's warming and comforting. Experts believe it helps us distinguish which changes are best for us. Any oils from trees like Palo Santo, cedarwood, cypress, all of those are very stabilizing, grounding, and help you feel secure. Next is peppermint. Peppermint supports the digestive, respiratory, and nervous systems. It's also good for the liver. And remember, the liver needs a little love after all the oils above have been applied, right? Because we're getting everything out, and your liver is one of the major detoxification organs in your body. So let's support the liver after we've done all the other cleanup work. It's a synergistic oil that improves the beneficial actions of the other oils that are used. It's high in phenols, but also contains 9% sesquiterpenes. So it's known in Raindrop as the driving oil. It pushes all the other oils deeper into the body, and that's why it's used last. This oil is good when there is a resistance to learn a new subject or move in a new direction. It cools and calms the mind, eliminates fear of the unknown. And there's a wonderful study by Dr. Dembar, D-E-M-B-A-R, from the University of Cincinnati that looks at mental accuracy of a student while inhaling peppermint oil. So go check that out, Dr. Dembar, D-E-M-B-A-R. The next oil blend is Aroma Seas, which contains basil, marjoram, lavender, peppermint, and cypress. It's calming and relaxing. It relieves tension. It's good for relaxing muscles, which just got to work out on your massage table. Aroma Seas contains monoterpenes, esters, and phenols, and it's a great oil for letting go of negative memories that are stored at the cellular level. Because did you realize our emotions, and this is going to lead into our class next week, which is on feelings, your emotions are stored in your body. So if you don't deal with them, they get stored into your organs and cells, and that can cause all sorts of issues. So come back next week for that. And it also is helps us be consistent in work or projects. So I think I need to use oh my goodness, like I need to use all these oils more than in just the Raindrop, right? So Ortho Ease is not an oil itself. It's actually a carrier oil with some of these oils in it. It contains wintergreen, peppermint, juniper, eucalyptus globulus, lemongrass, and marjoram, thyme, eucalyptus radiata, and vetiver. It's really great for muscles. Its primary purpose in the Raindrop is to seal in the oils to the skin so that they don't evaporate, because if Everybody knows that essential oils are very volatile, meaning they evaporate and absorb very quickly. We want them to absorb into the body. We don't want them to evaporate. So putting a carrier oil on after kind of helps seal in, because the carrier oil is really big molecules, so things can't escape from them very well. It's similar to Ortho Sport massage oil, but the phenol content is lower and the warming sensation is not quite as strong. And Gary picked Ortho Ease instead of just like the straight V6 carrier oil that Young Living has, because the massage blend is just so soothing to the muscles. In other words, it will feel like you've had a massage actually happen. It may feel good as a facilitator too. When giving one, people be like, oh, that feels so good. So quick recap: Valor, it balances the electrical field. Oregano, it's the soldier. It goes into the body cells, cleans the doorways. The thyme, it's also a soldier, goes into the body cells and cleans the doorways. Basil goes deeper into the body, relaxing the voluntary and involuntary muscles. Wintergreen supports joints and the skeletal structure of the body. Marjoram works with involuntary muscles, like the heart, the diaphragm, reproductive organs. Cypress provides great circulation, push everything out of the body, and it's also good for your lymph nodes. Peppermint supports the digestive, respiratory, and nervous system, supports the liver. So do you see how you start from the outside of the body and work your way in based on which oil you're using? So that's why the oils are given in that order. And Tammy is now going to talk about kind of where we're to put these oils and about some of the techniques that are used.
Okay, that's going to be hard to follow. I will let you know that one of our girls had an emergency, so I kind of like combined two pieces here, and I'm going to refer to my notes a lot because I don't want to mess anything up. So I will start by telling you that although you don't need to be a certified Raindrop, I don't even know what they would call it. You go to care school, and that's how you can get your Raindrop certification. You do not need the Raindrop certification to be able to apply these oils to friends, to family, and like Lene said, when I think the boys downstairs in my house are going to get Raindrops within the next week. I've had Raindrops. I've given not like the full Raindrop, because I number my bottles and then I just kind of like go through the motions, and I think I'm probably rushing it. So I've learned a couple of things tonight already. So basically what we want you to do is to know the importance of the Raindrop and to kind of have an idea why you would use it. And then we're going to share a video with you in our group. And that is a video that Young Living put together on all of the techniques, because for us to try and describe it, it's a lot easier for us to show you how to do it. And we're going to do that through the video. So you apply these oils to your spine. And if you look at your spine, like each organ is kind of lined up like where your spine is lined up. So the organs at your top, like your brain and your eyes and everything, are toward the top. Your heart is about a third of the way down your spine. And so as you go down your body and you have organs, they kind of line up with the vertebrae in your back. So as you are dropping the oils on your spine, you are also helping the organs that are attached to those vertebrae. And the thing is, just get it close, because the body is a wonderful thing, and the oils will get where they need to go as long as you just get them close. Yes. So what VitaFlex is one of the most important techniques that they talk about. You spend like 70% of the time with the VitaFlex. And what that means, Sherry talked about it a little bit. It actually was developed by the Tibetans thousands of years before acupuncture. And literally it means vitality through the reflexes. The theory is fascinating. The premise is that slight pressure applied to the body creates an electrical charge that is therapeutic to the body. And pressure comes across your fingers, and it's a gentle pressure, as Sherry was saying, with imagine the feather. A rolling motion with your finger pads and fingertips creates a stimulation similar to how an electric switch or current works. The technique is applied to the various VitaFlex points of the body. So how does VitaFlex work? When done correctly, the electrical energy that is produced during the technique transfers to the nerve pathways. Once the energy finds a gap in the circuit, it repairs the break in the pathway that is creating the imbalance in the body. Think of it this way. If there's a short in a wire along an electrical circuit that is controlling a light, the light would not function. When the short is repaired, the light works again. So it's like a reset. And adding oils to that process just enhances everything. So the premise of the Raindrop is that once you make contact and you connect that circuit, you don't want to break that circuit. So you will remain in contact the entire time, whether it's like a forearm, and I wish I had a person here, like when you are working on the feet or you're working on the spine, make sure you don't break that circuit. So put like the back of your hand or your forearm or something is how Sarah explains it. And you can use your hand to pull and to drop as needed. When you are doing the Valor balancing, that's the start of the whole thing. And what you are waiting for there is some kind of a connection between the recipient and the practitioner. I'll call it a practitioner, the person giving and the person receiving. And whether that is like a deep cleansing breath, whether you feel the heart rate drop, whether you will find like a balance in the energy. And that's really all that you're looking for. And it may take a few minutes. If you are doing the Raindrop to somebody like me who has like a million things going on in her head all the time, going from work to practice to running to walking the dog to all these things, it's going to take a little bit for me to shut my mind off. So just be patient and send out that calm, positive energy. And that's what you're waiting to come back. I was going to talk about, okay, so the best way to do this is to find a partner, find anybody willing to do this with you and learn this technique. Hi. Yes, anybody in here. Find somebody and just go through that video together that we're going to post later in the group. It is youngliving.com/raindrop/index.html. And we will put that in our group so that you can go and just watch these techniques, because for me to try and like do them in the air, I think you're going to get the picture better when you actually see it done on somebody. Oh, VitaFlex. I'm sorry. I put this here so that I remember to share it and I almost forgot. So we will put some of these graphics in there too. If you can see, here's the bottom of the feet. And when you line up the bottom of the feet, what does that look like? It's your body, right? See, here's the spine. Here's the brain. In the toes, you have your sinuses, your eyes, your lungs are here. And I can't see. Liver is here. Your digestive organs are here. And then like all the way up through the center of both feet are your spine. So the bottom of your feet lines up with your spine. So that's why you do it to the feet too. You do it to the spine, you do it to the feet. Spinal application is the part that you're looking for in that video. That's when Sherry was talking about the feathering. In the video, they call it spinal application. And basically, you're just going to drop the oils down about 6 inches. You drop them down, and then you go through these various techniques to get them to absorb into the body. And it's all a very relaxing experience, but it should not be rushed. Like Lene said, what are there, like 12 oils that we go through? And each one of them, you have to take your time and just let them soak in and do what they are meant to do. So that feathering technique is actually 3 different steps There's shorter steps, and then they get longer, and then they kind of go the whole length of the spine. So if you think about each one of those oils with each one of these techniques in the middle, if you cannot find somebody to do this with, you can cheat and you can do it to yourself. I have done it where you just kind of reach back as far as you can go. So you do your Valor, and just kind of hold. And then you just work down your spine as far as you can. Like we said, it doesn't have to be perfect. Just get the oils on your body and they're going to do what they need to do. Ideally, you want somebody to do it to you, but if you can't find a partner, don't let that stop you. So you would go through each one of the steps up here and then down here as far as you can reach. And I've done it that way. And I've actually seen at like some of the oil vendors that I've seen at convention and events and stuff, they actually sell like a wooden stick that will hold the oil bottle so that you can reach back there. And I don't have one because I just kind of drop and rub. And then Sarah Harnish says, if that's still, in the absence of all of those, you can actually do a quick foot bath where you drop all of the oils into, and now I lost my page because I showed you my VitaFlex techniques. If you're not feeling up to a foot massage by somebody, what you can do is 2 cups of Epsom salt into hot water. So even if it's like a spa, like a foot spa, and put the oils in there and 20 to 30 minutes with your feet, and then just soak, and it will. I don't believe that is as good as having the Raindrop, but like I said, if that is the only way that you're going to get these oils on your body, then that's the way you need to do it, because you still will get some benefit from just soaking your feet. So we do have a bunch of resources to share with you. And I really wish Shelby was here because she could have explained it a lot better, but I think that's about it. And like I said, we'll share the video with you, and please make sure you go in and watch all of those techniques so you can see what we are talking about. Is going to make a lot more sense when you can actually see the motions being done. And then we will post, Sherry found some great resources that will show you what the VitaFlex points are. And I think we can probably actually, here's one of the spine. We can probably find one that just shows, here's where all the organs line up according to all of your vertebrae in your spine. So I guess that's it.
Yay, that's a lot. As I think, I can't remember if we said it in here, or if we said it before you all joined us, but this actually is designed to be a 2.5-hour class because there's so much. I mean, we could have gone into so much more about the techniques and all that. So it's a lot, but I think, again, I just want to reiterate what Tammy said too. I think watching the video is going to be so educational and inspirational for you guys. So if you have not seen it before, I would highly recommend that. We have well, we're almost right at time, but we would love to, open it up for question and answers. If any of you guys have, things you want to share or questions about this, because it is a rather dense topic. So does anyone have anything to share? Yes, Jessica, did you want to say something? Hey, let's unmute you. There you go.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for the great information. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, super. I was just going to ask, and I guess I do have the catalog. I don't know what I did there. How do you spell the marjoram?
Marjoram? There you go. Tammy just posted it in chat.
Yes. How do you spell that?
Can you see the chat?
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I see it.
There you go.
Thank you. Yes.
Renee did too.
I can.
You know what? I forgot to mention.
Thank you.
That there is an entire Raindrop kit. So
oh gosh.
don't have the oils, that is what I was supposed to say. There actually is a kit that comes with a CD or a DVD and the V6 and yes, it comes with all of the things that you need. And Susie just posted the link for us. So if there's a bunch that you don't have, anytime Young Living bundles things together, you will save at least 15% above buying all of the pieces separately. So, and that might be the only way that you can get wintergreen right now is through that kit.
And I will say it really does depend. If you are giving somebody, make sure you're in the right place mentally, emotionally. Sometimes, and I think Shelby has mentioned this before, and she might even do this when she gives massages. She's an actual massage therapist. She'll often put white angelica on herself before, just to protect herself from the person, because it really does make a big difference in who is giving the raindrop. I've received one from someone that was not, they had no clue what they were doing. Like their confidence was in the toilet, so to speak. And they were wanting to learn. So I was willing to let them do this on me. And someone asked afterwards, so what'd you think? Like, I didn't notice any difference whatsoever. Versus other times that I received one from somebody that has given it multiple times. They were in the right headspace emotionally, mentally, and everything. Like there really is a difference in the confidence level. So you will get better the more you do it. So I know the first time I give it to my kids and my husband, it's probably not going to be the same as once I get better. But don't forget to protect yourself from the other person, because you don't want to take on their negative energy that they're releasing. So it might be a good idea just to put on some white angelica or palo santo or something like that. That's gonna kind of protect you a little bit. Just FYI. And I would say, do not be afraid to just try it on your feet. Just start there, because once we post that graphic on our page, just use that and just put them on your feet. Go up the spine of the foot. Just try it. What's holding you back? If it's fear, you've got to move past it.
There's also VitaFlex points on your hands and your ears. So I don't think it quite has the spine that your feet do, but yeah, there's still VitaFlex points there. Anybody else?
Yes. And as you said, you are, as a practitioner, you're going to get the benefits of the oils too. And you have to, before you do this, just like you would prepare for any meeting or anything, you have to prepare yourself, because all the energy you have, you're transferring to that person as soon as you touch them. And my most experience was in Ecuador. I think all of y'all know the story of my mother breaking her back in Ecuador. And so for the month we were there, except for the non-compliant treatments we won't discuss, every 2 to 3 hours we did raindrops on her back. And she rejected all medical treatment at Gary's recommendation, other than the treatments that he did for her. She refused surgery, she refused braces, she refused casts, and she refused all pain medication. And we did raindrops every 2 to 3 hours. I'm not saying she was pleasant. I'm not saying that at all. And I'm not saying she wasn't in pain a lot of the time, but this helped a lot.
Wow, Elizabeth, that's really powerful. Thank you so much for sharing that. That's amazing. All right, guys, it is the time. So please feel free if you think of anything else to just post in the While Unstoppables Facebook group. We're happy to chat with you there. And we will be posting a lot of good stuff, all of these VitaFlix graphics and the link to the Raindrop and anything else that you might need. And I just want to remind you that, as Lene said, next week is our feelings class. I love that. I'm all about the feelings, all about the feelings. So please come back. And we will see you next week. Thank you guys so much for being here. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Fabulous job, ladies.
Thank
A
you
very
all.
excellent job. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Great information. Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Thanks, ladies.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Good night, y'all. Thank you. Thank you, Beth, for inviting me.